we all need to be at parade somewhere. I saw some of the festivities on TV in LA, and it's like, that's not what we need. We need some real celebration, because this is the bringing of spring. This is getting us to 7 months of absolute turmoil. So
it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Everything in between. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to some new adventures this year, traveling and meeting up with friends. Going to a few games in Northern California this year on the schedule so far.
And more to come. No, I'm excited. This day I'm always giddy, even though it always comes during busy work season, but I'm always excited. I always try to make a day. My favorite soccer team also plays today at the same time as my Mets. So Mets, I think there are some games that are starting. So by the way, we are recording this on Thursday, obviously opening day. It is almost 11:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So games are starting like very soon when we record.
In about an hour and 10 minutes from now. So
first game, which is nationally televised, I think it's at 12. Which is the Mets and the Yankees and Brewers. That starts in about half hour. So we promise, for our sake, that will be done probably in about 30 minutes so that we can check out some of that game. But yeah, let's we wanted to start off again. This is episode 80.
Actually, one thing to start before we even jump into that, and I forgot about it, is if you're a T-Mobile customer, go get that MLB package thing done now. I think you have a couple days. They started it on Tuesday. I think it only runs for like 2 or 3 days. But go get your MLB package dialed in. I've got it dialed in. I've got logged into the TV.
Got it. No, unfortunately, I'm a Verizon customer, so I get none of that. So I what I do is I have my own ways of saving money with the MLB TV package, but I do get it. I'm obsessed with it. So it's one expense I always put down in my taxes. I'm kidding.
Well, it's part of being part of the Prospect Chase box.
I know. I'm going to have to start, putting that as part of the losses.
It's a line item. It's a line item expense
for keeping track of expenses on the Prospect Chase box. But no, this is before we actually, since you made you interrupted real quick to make that clarification, I am going to make my own announcement. I'm going to read off real quick what my fantasy team looks like, my roster, my starting 10, if you will. I think you'll be impressed. Hopefully you will. I paid a lot of money for it. Catcher, William Contreras, top catcher in the market. First baseman, I had to settle there. I went for value, Paul Goldschmidt.
Hopefully he snaps back this year big.
Second baseman, Andres Jimenez, also a value play, gonna hit either leadoff or cleanup for the Blue Jays, which is crazy. But at second base, you can't really go wrong. He steals about 30 bases a year. It's one of those value plays. Third baseman, Matt Chapman, also a mid-value play. Now we get into the heavy stuff.
Matt Chapman is solid. He has really solid years and a couple down years and solid years. So I don't begrudge you that one.
Shortstop, Mr. Bobby Witt.
Mr. Bobby Witt. That touched an arm and leg.
Yes, it did. Infielder, Volpe. Left field, Ward. T. Ward. I think he's a very underrated player. He may get traded mid-season. He's going to hit leadoff, which is crazy. But I love it because more at-bats. Center fielder, Nimmo. Right fielder, Colton Cowser. Outfielder, Profar. Utilities, 2 of them. Brent Rooker. Love him. And Mr. Shohei Ohtani batter. I won't tell you my bench. Pitchers, I'm B grades, but I'm okay. Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, solid choice.
Luis Castillo, as long as he pitches half of its game in Seattle, solid number 2 starter. DeGrom, that's my Hail Mary. If he somehow finds a way to stay healthy for 15 games, adjusting velocity, maybe he's figured it out. Maybe he wants to be more Brett Maddox with more fastball, because even a subdued DeGrom, you're still probably looking at 96, 95 on a heater. So that's a good thing. If he can find a way to stay on the field, man, that would be amazing. I'm not expecting him to make more than 20 starts, but if he gives me 15, I'll be good. And then Ryan, I've got 3 really good closers. And I just picked up, this is kind of what I wanted to say, really. I just picked up on waivers yesterday because it was the first day that you could pick up our free agents on waivers. Actually, not waivers, free agent, because I didn't use my claim. I picked up Ohtani, pitcher, which I thought flew under the radar. I'm like, these people don't know that he's going to start pitching here sometime.
He's throwing bullpen this week, is what we heard.
If he gives me 80 innings, they're probably solid innings. They're probably number 2 innings. So I'm like, man, I'll take an Ohtani pitcher any day for free. Shit. Anyways, that's my team. I think it's one of the top 3 teams in my league. I did pay a pretty penny. Guess how much? So the budget is $260 in this Yahoo format. Guess how much I paid for Ohtani and Bobby.
Bobby, you probably paid $200 and picked up everybody else for the other $60.
You would think. I paid $129.
Oh,
that's not bad.
No,
I paid $70 for Ohtani and $69 for Bobby. I honestly thought Ohtani. It was my first pick. I really thought he was going to go for like stupid money, like 90. 95. And I love doing that at the beginning of the draft because you'll have like 1 or 2 people that's competing with you that really wants him that bad and was willing to pay top dollar. But when you get to 70, you get to the point of like, wait, how much am I paying?
Still out.
When it's the first one, are you like, do I really want to use my money? And I'm like, yep, I do. Last year, that was my strategy. I called it, there was a thing that rhymed. It was like pumps and dumps, something like that. I don't know what it was. Chumps and studs and chumps, something like that. I had Bobby and I had Julio and I had Jordan. The rest were just chumps that got me there. So anyways, first topic of episode 86. Let's talk a little bit of hobby products. Starting off with, actually, I was going to start off, but I'll let Ron start.
I was going to say we had some exciting drops already this week. We were all running full speed trying to grab a couple things and watching tops fail, but it was an interesting product for a change. And our friend the prospector did a lot of research into it with some different friends of his. So you want to take it away on our speak about Heritage High Number, something we talked about in the past and some we were excited for. And now we're more excited.
Yeah, well, we've always been a fan on this channel of the Heritage High Number for many reasons. 1, because we like its entry price. 2, because it's a product that allows you, if it is a strong, because here's the first caveat. It's a product that would always, it has a very strong following in the hobby. A lot of set builders, a lot of people that reminisce on the designs that they take up that are based for that release that always go up. And right now they're the 1975 design, which is a very popular design. So you get some of that, but you also get a lot of set builders, a lot of people that are into vintage product. And this product is like their only real connection to modern or ultra modern baseball. It's kind of like this card stock that's on the old card stock, but it has enough modern takes on it and enough parallels and enough chromium to mix in interest with people that collect more modern and ultra modern. So it's a good product for that. So my point is, you're never going to lose a lot of money on it because it's cheap to acquire. Usually, we'll get into that soon. It's relatively cheap to acquire vis-a-vis like current prices and current modern cards. And you always have a backdoor way of like, hey, build this little $200, 230 or 220, 25, whatever set, and sell it. Sell your cards. If you open 2 or 3 hobby boxes, you're probably going to have the whole set. Sell it off. And it sells for good money. I think I think it sells for about 60, $70, something like that, early on, especially.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to go through the whole process of collation. They just want to buy it from you and put it in their closet or whatever, or in their folders or by their binders. And so for that product, it makes sense. Two, it's a strong rookie class, right? So it probably compares favorably to 2022, which had Bobby Witt and Julio and Suzuki and other guys. This is right that smack in the middle of Skeens mania. So it has Skeens, autos, blue and red ink and all that. They've tinkered with the product, which is, I guess, what Ron wants to talk about. They've tinkered with the product to make it more, I don't want to call it breaker friendly, because it kind of is, but it's not usually because of the volume of cards. But they have added so many chromium parallels to it. The different, like 3 different type of chrome cards, and the chances, because they're printing more for those parallel cards, your chances of getting and they're printing still. They don't go nuts with this print run. They don't print it as much as like Series 1, or they print enough, but because they don't print like to the moon, that you still get one chrome parallel of $6.99 or less in every blaster box, for example, and then you get like 5 or 6 or 7 of them in every hobby box, and like 2 aquas and 2 other parallels, something like that. So they've made it much more a parallel based product, so that you can actually get parallels. That's what's changed, really, and the price has stayed the same, which in turn created this explosion in secondary market values.
Definitely an explosion. You've got the parallels. You're going to have an aqua border, a dark blue border, which is in hobby, green borders, which are in value boxes, black border, which is limited to 50 copies, and a flip stock, which there's only 5 copies of each card. So there's some pretty rare things in there. Yeah. And it is one that comes with an auto or a game used memorabilia of some kind. So you're going to get a relic or an auto, but the odds for the autos were really high this year, kind of disproportionate. Normally it's the other way around. Like with Series 1, you see more relics than you do autos. With this product, you're seeing more autos than relics.
Yeah.
There are chances for a real one auto, but they're pretty slim, few and far between. And then there's the Fred Lynn files in there. That's one of the things they added this year. A couple other fun sets in it. But overall, it's a fun product. They came out with it on Tuesday or on Wednesday. Sorry, it was yesterday when they came out with it. Pre-sales of it, Topps has it at $100, $99. Other places like David Adams and Blowout, etc., were already up at $220 for a box before it was even released. Yeah. So the prices climbed right to the ceiling up there. Topps site took a heck of a beating that day. We watched a lot of odd things happen with people and trying to cart things. Cases would disappear, and people got stuck in queues and couldn't cart things. So it was an interesting experience. A lot of people missed out on the product. We kept watching, and we saw the product was still available for a long time. A long time meeting.
It didn't last that long.
Didn't last more than an hour, but it was still there. And it was because people were having such problems carting, and the checkout process was bad. So if it had been like the old days, it would have been instantly sold out. Yeah. With the new cart process, things, you get them in your cart, you're trying to move it through, you dumps your cart on.
It's so many things to uncover, so many layers. So to address some of your comments, so the middle market, the reseller markets, David Adams, the Steel Cities, the Blowout cards of the world, they knew that this product, just based on allocation, based on what they have, what others have, and what's produced of it, which they usually are, it's something that they're cognizant of that. They tell Topps has really good communication with them. I would imagine they know how much is printed of this. So they kind of knew that this product, based on rookie class, based on the things that Topps had made to make this more of a, again, I don't want to say breaker, but a little more breaker-ish product, or breaker
more hit friendly. A little more hit friendly. Yeah.
Breaker friendly product with all those parallels and chromes and more prevalent, higher incidence of getting an auto vis-a-vis a relic, which are now getting used too. I think that made it so that they knew that they can, before they kind of react to the market, and they'll put it at 140, 130 and see if it sells. And if it does, they bump it up and then come down. They're very price sensitive to demand. They knew that at 200-ish, it would sell. So they started with that. They started taking pre-orders. So it's funny because to me, the research portion of like what to do with the product and what to tell my group, my internal group, of what to hold, what to sell, like if to buy, to sell, to flip, to rip, whatever, was easy because all you needed to know, I mean, besides what the contents of the product are, right? What it actually has. All you needed to know is that all these guys that I just mentioned, they put those boxes in pre-order at 2 something, and they sold out at pre-order. So if you know if it's selling out in pre-order, it's gonna obviously have a very high floor. So it wasn't when Topps posted that they were gonna sell at 100. I'm like, oh, of course you have to buy, and if you can buy cases, which leads me to my second point about this product is that we all knew that the flip strategy or the play was cases, but you also had to factor in that into your strategy of getting boxes, right? Because there's 2 components of it. If you know that a Topps is going to be selling boxes and cases, and you know that they've been having issues with their Shopify sort of transition, their website transitioning to Shopify and that platform, you need to know that you won't have time to play around with. You have to have your Shopify login. You have to be ready. Everything has to be signed in. And if you immediately see when it goes live that cases are sold out, don't like fight it. Just go get the hobby boxes if you want them, right? Which is what I did. I knew that cases were going to be sold out just based on what I just told you. Like if it's sold out, forget about it. Bots have them. Why even matter? You just be ready to buy hobby if you want it. And so that's what I did. Immediately, the second it went in, I added my 2 or 3 boxes, check out, boom, because I'm signed in. Go. No issues. What I think happens is that if you start playing around with like, oh, wait, let me refresh for cases, or if you waste time, again, this is PSA, public service announcement, with Topps until they figure out the whole Shopify transition and what that looks, until they smooth out their process, you can't F around with it. You just got to go get what you want and check out.
Yeah, a lot of our peers were stuck refreshing, trying to get boxes into their cart and such. The other thing that happened with this is Fanatics came out with a drop strategy, and I meant to put this on our list today, but I'll talk about it anyway. One of the things they do is they say, hey, we're going to drop this product as well at the entry price. Go ahead and sign up here. We have a proprietary system that allows us to select winners, similar to Equal, but there isn't the equal components that Topps uses. So what happens is if you sign up for that drop, it doesn't happen at the same time as the release. Right. So you're never sure if you're going to get those or not. So
you still don't know, do you?
No. So you go put your money, you commit
you park your money there.
And then you go over, Topps drops it, and you say, okay, I can get a couple bucks here. What you can end up with is hitting on both of them and being overloaded with a product that you can't take that much of. Yeah. Or, you get really lucky. The problem with the Fanatics drop is because it happens after the Topps drop. You don't know. And then they take a day, 2 days to even let you know that it happens. And we're still waiting to see if anybody's hit it yet. I've checked with several people. Nobody I know has hit it yet.
That's the problem. But to me, that's not even the worst problem. The worst problem is this. because of the odds that we just talked about, the recent cases were so popular for this particular product is that obviously you can flip them, but there's a reason why you can flip them for high money. Is that because the odds are such that in this particular release, they are guaranteeing you a red ink auto 1 in every 50 packs, hobby packs. So that means that if you say the margin of error 2 packs, say it's 1 in 48 because of the margin of error, right? You're guaranteeing, they're pretty much saying you're gonna get a red ink 1 in every other box. So in the case of 12, there's right, you're gonna get. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, that's the odd 1 in every 48 for blue ink. For blue ink, sorry, for the blue ink. I think for the red ink, it's 1 in every 80 or 90 packs, something like that. So what they're telling you is that in a case of 12, you're going to get about anywhere from 5 to 7, likely 6 or 7 autos. And some of them are going to be red ink. So, by the way, your 24 Stadium Club just arrived. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So what they're saying is in any given case, you're going to get a bunch of relics and about 6 or 7 autos. That's money. That's great. Yeah. Especially in a product that has Jackson Merrill autos, Churio, it has Skeens, a bunch of other folks. So
it goes on and on. It has the entire rookie class that we've been looking at, so hard. And there's some other oversized auto, the real ones, autographs are the ones you hit for, and it's 1 in every 550 packs.
Yeah.
So you're about 1 every other case. So you buy 2 cases, you're going to get 1 at least.
So to close my loop, which is going to close my argument, I was saying about the problem with that, with the Fanatics thing, is that Fanatics would only let you add a maximum of 8 boxes. I think it was something like that in the drop. So what that means is you're not getting a case. You're getting loose boxes. So yeah, technically it should be the same odds from random boxes they send you individually, but it's tougher to measure. What if you get a bad run? What if you get, because they're just odds, right? But in a case, I kind of feel that it should be a little more true.
Yes.
That odds, it should be more true. So that's why also cases had a premium. And that's why also Fanatics, I'm like, but if I can get it in tops, why why even go there? But hopefully you get some. Were you able to get a few in tops?
I got a couple of tops.
Okay, that's good.
So
we're they shipped already, by the way. Did I tell you?
I heard you mention it. I don't remember seeing that, but it probably rolled through all my junk mail.
Mine shipped. Maybe it's because I was literally probably one of the first hundreds that I bought. I was ready, man. Because I'm ready because I want that product to be included in the Prospect Chase box volume 36 box, which is next month's box.
Yeah. So
quick plug before we move to that.
Yeah.
Prospect Checks Space Box Volume 35, the current one that's going on sale on the 1st. It's on pre-sale right now. And folks, I've only got 3 boxes left. So if you want to get in on it, it has a bunch of premium stuff. We can talk about that later. Let's move on to our second hobby product release.
Well, let's go ahead and hit the 2. The other one that dropped today was the Celebration product. It's available, at all the regular spots. Again, it's one of these products. It shouldn't sell out like it's doing, but it's selling out. It's basically the opening day product. The Celebration confetti card is 1 in every pack. Oh, hey, this great design. And it kind of looks like the White Diamond background. So, nothing really special in it other than the fact if you're chasing mascots, there's a dozen or so mascots in that product. Not something that we're going after. We're pulling. It's a really kid product. So I
want to give you main stage. How do I do that? Because in protest I hate this product, as you all know.
Yeah, it's not a great product. What we can do is we can go like this, and I think
no, I'm good. Let's go back to them both. So celebration. It has. They try to get because they did away with opening day. They did away with other fluffy stuff meant for kids. Very, very, very intro products. They put the best elements of it. I imagine there's some short prints. I imagine like that, those dugout peaks cards, they put them in that product. Those, let me tell you, those have a market. A lot of those short print from opening day days, they have a really strong market. People pay money for those very short prints because they usually used to be very short printed. So I'll give them that. But to me, I'm protesting.
You know, opening day product. I sent a box to somebody for their kid, and they were happy as heck because they pulled an auto for one of the mascots. So they were excited about it. The other thing that's coming out is a favorite of ours. It's the Topps Chrome Black product for baseball. It is the 2025 product, so it's actually a 2025 product, not 2024. Don't expect that rookie class in there, but it's coming out on Monday. We're always high on this product. It's always looks so good. This year they've done a real design change. They went from these very black backgrounds to, I don't know why they're calling it Chrome Black, but it is kind of white background on the ones that we saw in the preview from the Topps page. But it drops Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for it, it should last a little while. It doesn't usually sell out because there's only 6 cards in the pack, one auto plus 5 others.
Yeah. So. It's usually been a favorite product of the Prospect Chase box just because of the quality. The QC on it is really high. Tends to be on very, very premium card stock, which I would love that they did that for other cards, but we'll just leave that we'll leave it at that. It does seem we have no idea other than seeing 2 cards that Ron shared with me off camera. We have no idea price points yet. We have no idea what inserts or other things they may have. What I do know, just based on what you shared with me, is that they are going to feature the ever elusive Mookie Betts autos in the product. So Mookie Betts has an auto on the product, as well as Barry Bonds. So Barry Bonds is now back with Fanatics, so he's going to start signing. They probably reserve him for very premium products, I would imagine, same as Mookie. Although I think Mookie has autos in in Heritage. I think.
I don't remember if he did. I can check, but
or in S1. I don't know.
He has come back.
He has autos in some parts.
He does have it in Heritage. So
yeah, that's what I've seen. But this is a very premium product. We love that product, but we have no idea on price point. It's usually a pretty expensive product.
139 is what I would expect. It's 140 a box is what I would expect.
They may crank it up.
I don't know if they'll crank it up this year or not. That's been a fairly steady price, but we'll see what they do with it. You never know.
Remind me, did they release 24? Or they?
Yeah, they did. That 24 was a long time ago.
Okay, it probably so. Did it have a shitty class, or did it have Churios and Merrills and everyone?
I think I just don't remember seeing a lot of it, but I remember they doesn't talk about when they released it, but it did.
I'm iffy on this release because this doesn't. So it's tough. They're probably including a lot of these. They're probably including a lot of these like strong, attractive and on-demand autos like Mookie and Barry, because this rookie class is pretty weak. Other than Dylan Cruz and Wood, maybe a few others, but this is not a release. It's tough because people get confused. Topps is still printing 24 product, and we'll talk about that, like Heritage and Chromium and Chrome Anniversary, which will happen very soon, and we'll talk about that too. People get confused, and if I'm right, which I think I am, this Chrome Black does not have Skeens and rookie. I mean,
it does not have a rookie. It does have Skeens autos in there, but not as a rookie.
So honestly, this product, you're getting it more for the autos more than anything. So if you want to pay 140 for autos and the chance of a really premium one, I think it's worth it. Autos now are valued on tops for around 125, 100. Maybe you have to pay 140 for the chance at a Barry Bonds or a Mookie or a Skeens, or I'm guessing Chuyo also has autos, even if it's not a rookie. I don't know. It's honestly it's an auto product.
You are getting the James Wood and Cruz autos, Dylan Cruz autos. So those are
it's an auto.
Really are being chased. Yeah,
it's an auto product because you're not doing it for the rookie class.
No.
And those rookies, regardless, don't have. I mean, they have some value in the market, but a lot of people disregard the release as like, oh my god, another Topps premium release, and so it gets a little of, I wouldn't call it hate, but close to it, even though the quality is amazing. So all right, we can skip that. What do we have next? Are we going into the rankings again? Are we doing predictions?
We have to do the American League real quick. We have to knock it off here.
Let's do it.
I'm going to start here with let's start with the West this time. We'll work west to east. We did the other way last time. The West, for me, it's still the Astros. Rangers.
I was about to give you the Tupac intro, but no, go ahead.
It's still the Astros on top.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I don't see anybody beating them out there. The Rangers are going to be a little better than they were last year. They've improved. They tanked last year. And my third place team is not the Mariners. It's not the Angels. It's the Sacramento A's. I think with the rookie class they put together the last couple of years and some of the moves they made, they're going to have a strong little team up there. I think they're going to surprise people with what they do in that little ballpark. I really do.
Interesting. And who's your second place team, you said?
Rangers, Texas Rangers.
And you got okay. So walk me through. You threw me off with a 5 through 1. Walk me through again 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Top.
Astros, you said.
Astros. Second, Rangers. Third, A's. Fourth, Mariners. Fifth is the California Angels of Anaheim and Los Angeles and wherever else they're from.
The world. Disney. They should just call it Disney. The Angels of Disneyland. They should have
called it Disney when Disney owned it. They missed a great opportunity.
Okay, man, you're gonna. So given what you just told me, you're gonna think my takes are super wild and hot. Okay, I agree with you on some things, but I think we generally have some disagreement here, which I love. Okay, I think we can all agree that the Angels are gonna suck. Now, are they gonna win 54 games like they did last year or 53? No, I think they'll make some improvements. I think they'll win 64. So
with a healthy Trout and Ward coming on as strong as he has.
I mean, they have some hitters. The problem is their pitching sucks. So they score 7. They score 5 runs. They win half of those games only. So that's what happens. And they will. They'll score. They'll probably average 4 to 5, 5.7 runs a game, maybe. I think their offense is that good, especially if Trout does what he can do and stays healthy. But they can't pitch for saving their lives, to save their lives. So they're going to suck. I have them winning about 58, 60, 62 games, which is an improvement from last year, by the way. This tells you how much.
Yeah, they were 53. They weren't quite the White Sox, but they.
Okay, and so I think that's honestly, that's our only agreement. I guess my take here, or my hot take, there's a hot take A and B, is that I'm not as bullish as you are on the Astros. I think similar to my analysis last week on the Phillies, I think this is somewhat of a transition year for them. Yeah, they have pieces. They have a little bit of pitching left. They still have Valdez and Blanco and the other dudes they have, but their pitching is not elite. It's good. It's just not elite. It's not like elite. and their lineup has taken a significant loss at losing Bregman. Yeah, they brought in Cam Smith. He may have a great year. We don't know. This is a completely unproven, top ranked, but unproven prospect. And by the way, I don't know if you've looked at his peripherals. He doesn't jump off the chart. He doesn't jump off the charts instead in arm or power or speed he's like 60, 80, 50, 80. He's not like oh my God, 60, 70 plus talent. So I'm not expecting huge things from Cam Smith. I think some people are overreacting to that roster move. I do think they take a step back. I have them finishing at third place. My hot take 1B, I guess, is that I think somewhat in agreement with you. I think people are sleeping on the A's. I have the A's as the second best team in this division. I see the Rangers running away with it. I shouldn't say that. They don't run away with it. I see the Rangers winning the division. I see the A's not too far off. I got the Rangers winning probably close to 91 games. I've got the A's being right there at that 88 wins, 87 wins. I think they surprised a lot of people. That lineup is that hitting lineup is solid, like really solid. Brent Rooker is no joke. Lawrence Butler is no joke. I'm expecting big things from Zach Gelof. I'm expecting a breakout season from Jacob Wilson. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this team. They're probably playing a bandbox of a park. I would imagine. I don't know how it truly plays, but I would imagine it plays well for hitters, being small-ish. I'm expecting big numbers from them.
Well, without the outfield construction like you see in major league parks, wonder how ball's going to fly out of it. They don't have that enclosed outfield like you do at most major league parks where there's fans sitting out there. When I looked at the stadium, it was wide open on the outside. It's lawn seating, I believe.
I'm bullish on them. My only thing is that I don't know so I guess that drops the Mariners to fourth. The Mariners, it's tough because the Mariners are the type of team that you don't like. If they make a move mid-year and they go actually and get a bat, and what can that bat do in that park? Listen, until they fix whatever's wrong with that park, and add whatever they have to add, bring in whatever fence they have to bring, until they fix the batting issue, this team, and it's a shame because they're wasting an elite starting pitching rotation. With some offense that they can run away with that division. However, I see them battling for third. I do think that they will. I think Houston will fade. I think Houston slots in 3 or 4. I think Mariners slot in 3 or 4, depending on what the A's do. But the Mariners can go to me as high as 3. I don't think the Mariners have enough talent to make it to win the division. So I guess that I put him maybe at 3 or 4, depending on the Astros. All right, so I have the Rangers winning. Just I would say just like you, but no, you picked the Astros. So we defer this. That's good. All right, let's move on to the Central. You can start.
The Central's one of your favorite divisions with Bobby in there. When we look at what's going on in the Central Division, you got to look at how strong Kansas City finished the year and what they did last year, and they didn't muck that with that lineup a lot. They added a couple of little pieces here and there. They didn't get rid of a lot of guys, so you've got a good solid lineup. So we'll have to start from the bottom to the top.
You can start if you want. I see some hesitation on your part, Ron. I can start.
When you look at it, White Sox, bottom of the division, no question. They have done nothing and continue to do nothing. They need to remove that ownership. Besides, it's a horrible park. I've been to that one. It's one of the, it was one of the new parks years ago. Hey, here's our new Comiskey Park. It wasn't even great then when it was brand new. Hated the park. The team hasn't done anything since then. You look at the Guardians were really strong this last year. Can they repeat that? Actually, let me rearrange it. They were strong. Can they repeat it? I don't think they can do what they did last year. I think people will be on the lookout for them. So that's in this second last match. The Tigers. Well, I think I'd put the Tigers, then the Guardians, followed by Twins, who are going to be pretty solid this year, I believe, until the first injury, but they don't have the depth. And then Kansas City. Kansas City is going to be hard to beat this year.
Interesting. All right, we have different takes on it. Again, I love it. All right, so I think we can all agree. Take the White Sox out of the equation. They'll finish very, very, very solid on last place. They're going to trade Lubop at the deadline. I would imagine they have to at this point get some value out of it. They didn't trade him off season because I'm thinking they were hoping to get his value up, showcasing him again this first part of the season. But I think there's no way they retain Lubop past July or whatever the deadline is. So we agree on that. Now, I'll tell you straight off the bat who I think is going to win the division. Give me a second. Getting messaged. I think the Tigers win the division. I think they're strong. I think what they did last year. Yep. I think the Tigers win the division. I think that lineup is very solid. I think there's a strong chance of even improving on the performance that they had from Kerry Carpenter, from Colt Heath, some of the other dudes that they've got. I think they probably are going to move. I don't know what they're going to do with Javi Baez, but they don't need him. As long as he brings some defense, I think that they'll be fine. But I'm really strong. I'm really bullish on their pitching. Scubal is a beast. I think they have really solid starting pitching and Flaherty, which will bring some of that, bulldog mentality and veteran leadership. Having won a championship, I think that plays well too for them. So I'm really bullish on the Tigers. Now, this won't be a division that, again, similar to the West, the AL West, this is not a division where someone's going to win crazy number of games. I've got 1 through 3 being each of them with a difference of like 2 games or something like that, within 2 games of each other, something like that. I have the Royals sitting pretty at second, fighting the Tigers for the division. It could go both ways. I can see a path where the Royals can win the division. However, I feel that their ceiling. I think the Tigers have done more to improve their team, and I think what the Tigers have can be replicated more than what the Royals had. The Royals are not going to surprise anyone, similar to the Tigers last year. If a lot of it, the Royals have some things that could happen and go their way, like they can call up Jack Caglione and he could be like ridiculous and carry them. They can have finally a full solid season from Sasquatch, from Vinny, and that could help Bobby Witt defray some of his. Because my fear is with Bobby Witt, and it's still my fear. I feel Bobby Witt is a strong MVP candidate that can take what he did last year and expand on it. But I can also see where like a lot of people start pitching to him, and because if no one else is beating you, then that's my only fear with Bobby Witt, that he doesn't get as much as last year. But again, I see them strong. I see the path where they win. So to me, that 1 and 2 is very similar to the NL East, where I think Atlanta and the Mets are going to be very close to each other, and that division is going to be won by 1 or 2 games. And then I have the Guardians. I think, and the reason I have the Guardians is that I think Minnesota is good, but I don't think. And listen, they may finish 3. Minnesota is a team that can finish anywhere from 4th to 2nd, a close 2nd. I can see it happening, but we have to put them somewhere. I think the Guardians, of all those teams, the Guardians overperformed like crazy last year, and they've been doing that for years. I think they have to be at some point due for a letdown a little bit. It's not like they went out and got two
No,
studs or like they have
no,
the
they
same
didn't.
team.
They
So the
didn't.
only player I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, but I'm feeling 90% confident that we'll have a great season is J Ram. He's lost weight, he's lost fat, he's stained weight, he looks he looks stronger, healthier. I did listen to an interview he did in Spanish with the Spanish media, and he did say that he wants to go full on 40-40 or 50-50. So he's looking to steal even more base. I think he sold like 41 last year. He's looking to go 50-50 or at least 40-40. He fell one home run short of the 40-40, and that bugged him. He said they didn't play that last game in Houston because it wasn't necessary or whatever, that canceled game that robbed him of this chance to maybe get 40-40. So he's pissed off about that. He wants to do 40-40. I think he'll do well. He looks really, really in shape. Now, rest of team, I think that team it's due for a letdown. So I got him at third place.
Yeah.
And the rest, yeah. So I got my division winner there. To me, it's Tigers/Royals. But I do think the Tigers have slight upper hand. I think they have the better, more complete roster.
Well,
East.
I have an odd take on the East this year. A lot of people are making predictions that, hey, the Red Sox, with the way they spent money, are going to do it. I don't see it that way this year. I still see the Blue Jays at the bottom of the heap. Don't see them moving.
Really? Above the Rays?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think the Rays have been doing enough. So I'll get to the Rays here in a minute. But I think the Rays have been doing enough. I think the Red Sox are going to be hampered with injuries. They just haven't been able to get through a season without injuries. I think they're going to be the fourth place team in that division.
The Red Sox?
As much as they spent money this year, mark my words, with the injury things that have been plaguing them every year, I don't see them doing great this year.
Man, I want a little bit of what you're smoking. But okay.
They'll play good. Third place, I've got the Yankees. I had the Yankees and the Red Sox like this for third and fourth, but I think the Yankees would do a little better based on being the evil empire.
You got Tampa second? Oh my goodness!
So second place, Tampa Bay Rays.
That's a hot take.
Hey, it is a hot take. I think they've been doing enough, and they've been bringing up some guys, and they've done some trades. They've been stocking up a little bit. Let's see what they do this year. I'd have them in second place. So here we are at March 27th, and I'm calling the Rays for second place finish, right behind the Baltimore Orioles, who are going to find a way to just keep pounding it this year and take over that division. So
that's nuts. I love it.
Yeah,
I thought I had somewhat of a hot take. Because I'm not as I'll talk about it now. I'm not as high as the Yankees. I'm not as high on the Yankees as most people. That's why it's a little bit of a hot take. So I agree Toronto is and it sucks because it's a very competitive division. Both the Central and the East should be very competitive. I think the weakest division is the West. And what I mean competitive is parity. I think both the East and the Central have a lot of parity, especially the Central. East. Okay, so I don't have the Rays as high as you do. So I guess I love it because that's where we differ. Obviously Caminero is slated to have a really good season. Hopefully he breaks through. Signs are that he will. It looks like Curtis Mead finally has found his prospect, his high prospect status swing again, and should do some things. They bring back Hallahan or McClanahan, whatever his name is. They're gonna be careful with him because he's coming back from TJ. They're gonna limit his innings. And their pitching, their starting pitching lineup, it's on the come up. I agree that it's it's going to improve people. It's going to start making a statement. Now, are they going to push through and be elite? I don't think so. But I do like the pieces going forward. I like Bass. I like McClanahan. I like Petit or whatever his name is, Period, Pepiot, and some of the other pieces we have, Bradley. But I don't think this is the year that they pull it all together and become elite. I think they have elite potential. But I have them.
They brought in a secret weapon. You haven't even mentioned.
Who?
My guy, Ha-Sung Kim.
That's why you have him high. I knew it.
He is a bulldog out there. When he got injuries last year, that kind of screwed him.
I think he's a little nicked, though. I think he's a little nicked. I think he's on the IR right now.
He was nicked at the end of last year, and they actually said, "Hey, we're going to let you ride this out." So he signed with them. The guy's a bulldog.
I don't think he's full go though. I don't think he's fully full go. We'll see. I have him as fourth, honestly. And the Blue Jays may surprise some people. I don't think so. What's funny is the Blue Jays have some pieces. Like my boy Santander, he should put up crazy numbers in that park. If Vladdy, if he's doing what people expect him to do, he's going to pull up crazy numbers, especially if he wants to get traded or be out of there or improve, right, on his free agency walk year. Bichette should come back to life a little bit. It's just that their pitching sucks. And then, like, the rest of the team is not that good. So I can see them. Honestly, I can see Tampa and Toronto flipping places, but I got them 4 or 5. Take your pick.
Now, the other thing you got with Toronto is Kirk behind the plate. The guys that like having a fire hydrant.
You just got extended, by the way. Anyways, so 1 through 3 is where you make your money. Okay, I disagree with you. I think the Red Sox are gonna run away with this. I like their team. Obviously, injury. Staying free of injury is a big. Obviously, that's. Yeah, if 2 people get injured, then yeah, they'll suck or they'll be not as good. But I think, injury-free Red Sox is a team that wins 92, 93 games. I love what Duran's become. I think that lineup is solid. Your boy Bregman, I think, is going to complement their offense greatly. I love that he can play pepper with that left field wall. He doesn't have a swing he's not gonna hit 430, 450 homers anywhere, but he doesn't need to at Fenway Park. I see him as a solid candidate for 45, 50 doubles. He could really do some damage in that ballpark. I love the Crochet signing. I love how that really builds their already kind of strong young core at starting pitching. I think they have the pieces to walk away with this division. My only thing is the Yankees.
Yeah, I hope they aren't depending on Buehler.
No, I know. Now Buehler is like their 4th starter or 3rd starter. I think they got the pieces. Now it's perhaps I'm being too bullish by saying running away with it. I do think they're winning close to 90. I think they're winning more than 90 games. So I think they are probably the second in my view, in my world. They finished probably like the best or second best team in the league for playoff ranking slots. What I don't know what to do with is the Yankees and Orioles, because I'm not as high on the Yankees as some people are. I think losing Garrett Cole is a big thing. Not having Soto is also a big thing. Yeah, they brought some pieces to supplement. They spread the love. But I've got them in second place. I think Baltimore did not improve their team enough, starting pitching wise, especially. I think Baltimore can be really good, but I think for Baltimore to win a division or be second and be a wild card team, I think they need really strong years from the likes of like Zach Eflin and what's the other mid-tier pitcher? The Harvey guy or the Cody something guy. I thought they missed the boat in not re-signing Corbin Burns. I think their pitching is not there to win a division, but they do have a crazy offense. So that's why I'm like, they have a really good offense, and they have enough pitching to win a division. I don't know. I think the Yankees. I can see the Yankees not doing great. I can see a scenario where the Yankees finish third. So I don't know. Depends on what Baltimore does. I think the Red Sox win. Of all the things, it's crazy because in this league, of all the two things I feel very confident on is that the Rangers and Red Sox will have probably the top two of the top three records in the league. Just based on expectations on what they're bringing in. So that's my take. Now, let's go ahead. Since we wrapped it up, we have about 4 minutes to hit in an hour. Let's go ahead and do a quick preview of what we think the postseason is going to look like. I mean, we don't know the matchings, right? The pairings.
Well, we talked about that with the national.
Your final four.
Yeah. My top four are going to be, well, obviously we have the winners we've each picked, but behind them, I see the Rays.
Give me your ALCS. Give me your ALCS. Rays and
the ALCS is going to be
right. There's something like your
Rays and the Astros. Rays and the Astros.
Astros and who?
The Rays.
And Ron is going full throttle with this.
They did it a few years ago. We've seen it happen.
Rays and Astros. Interesting. Okay, and the NLCS surprised me.
NLCS is I really feel strongly about the Braves this year being there against the Dodgers.
Okay, that's a very popular take. All right, so who wins each?
Well.
Who wins each? What's the World Series look like?
World Series is going to be Astros Braves.
Braves, interesting. All right. Man, you're high on the Braves. Okay. All right, let me give you mine.
I think Michael Harris, the second, is going to be a huge star this year. You watch him break out.
Well, listen, we did the predictions last week. I chose them as division winners, so I agree with you. They should have a strong year. I think the Mets are close, but to them, but interesting. All right, let me see ALCS for me. ALCS, I've got Red Sox. I got the Red Sox barely eking out the Tigers on the quarterfinals. I've got Red Sox. I'll go Red Sox Rangers. And then NLCS, I'll obviously have Dodgers. And I've got Dodgers. I've got a rematch. I've got Dodgers Mets.
Okay.
And I've got, man, it's tough because with my heart, I want to choose the Mets. And so much of it depends on acquisitions and who brings in, if they're active on the trade deadline, and so much of it is pitching. I'm gonna be bold. Why not? I'm sick of the Dodgers already. I've got the Mets going to the World Series. I've got an 86 rematch. Red Sox, Mets. Now, who wins? I have no idea. I'll leave it at that.
That for another time.
Who's your champion? Should we leave that for another time?
We'll leave that for another time. We've got to get to the baseball. It started. It's opening day. Games are on.
Opening day, folks. All right. By the time we post this, we'll be dead smack in the middle of all the night games. For you East Coasters. So once again, for Jorge Prospector of the Prospect Chase Box, this has been, and Ron, Prospector Ron, this has been Coffee and episode 86. Thanks for watching. One more thing before we left off. We are sitting at 99 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We're doing a giveaway at 100. Help us get there. Share the love. And by the time you guys post this, we should be doing a giveaway. Thanks for watching,
There you
guys.
go.
See you in the next one.